Ladies, let's be honest, men can be confusing. They say things that leave you wondering, what did he really mean by that? And too often, women take a man's words at face value without paying attention to what's really going on beneath the surface. The truth is, men don't always express themselves in the most direct way. And if you don't know how to interpret their words, you might find yourself frustrated, hurt, or stuck in a situation that isn't serving you. So today, let's break down 7 common and confusing things men say and what they actually mean. The first one is, I'm not ready for a relationship right now. Now, a lot of women hear this and think, okay, he just needs time. If I stick around, he'll eventually be ready. But let me tell you what he's really saying. When a man tells you this, what he actually means is, I don't want a relationship with you because if the right woman came along, he would be ready. A man who truly wants you will not risk losing you. He won't tell you to wait while he figures things out. He will make it clear that he sees a future with you. When a man says, I'm not ready for a relationship right now, it's easy to take it at face value and assume that he's simply not in a place where he can commit. Maybe he's dealing with personal struggles, focusing on his career, or healing from a past relationship. While all of these reasons could be true, the real meaning behind this statement is often deeper. What he's really saying is, I don't want a relationship with you, but I don't want to lose the benefits of having you around. That's a hard truth to accept, but it's one that many women overlook because they want to believe that if they're patient and supportive, he will eventually be ready. A man who truly sees you as someone he wants to be with will not risk losing you. Even if his life is chaotic, even if he has things to figure out, he will make it known that he wants you in his life in a meaningful way. When a man says he's not ready, he's essentially leaving the door open to keep you as an option without committing fully. This is why so many women end up in situationships waiting for a man to get ready when, in reality, he has already made his decision. The problem isn't that he's not ready, it's that he doesn't see you as the one he wants to be ready for. Thing to notice is how he continues to behave after making this statement. If he genuinely isn't ready for a relationship, he will step back, focus on his personal growth, and avoid leading you on. But if he keeps calling, texting, spending time with you, and enjoying all the emotional and physical benefits of a relationship without making a real commitment, then he is keeping you around for his convenience. It's not that he doesn't know what he wants, it's that he wants the best of both worlds. He wants you there when it suits him, but he also wants the freedom to explore other options or avoid responsibility. It's important to listen to what a man is telling you, but also pay close attention to what he is showing you. Words mean nothing if they aren't backed up by consistent actions. If a man tells you he's not ready for a relationship, but still wants to be around you, it's not because he's waiting for the right time. It's because he's not willing to give you what you truly deserve. The right man won't need time to decide whether he wants to be with you. Because when a man truly values a woman, he will take action to secure her in his life. When a man says, I need some space, it can send a wave of confusion through a woman's mind. Does he mean he's losing interest? Is he feeling overwhelmed? Is he about to leave? The truth is, this statement can mean a variety of things depending on the man and the situation. However, in most cases, when a man says he needs space, he's expressing that something is making him feel pressured, uncertain, or emotionally drained, and he needs time to sort through his feelings without external influence. Men and women process emotions differently. While many women find comfort in talking through their feelings, men often need solitude to process theirs. When a man asks for space, he's usually dealing with internal struggles that he may not fully understand or know how to communicate. He might be feeling overwhelmed by life's pressures, questioning his role in the relationship, or even dealing with fears of commitment that he hasn't addressed. In some cases, a man may pull away because he feels like he's losing his sense of self within the relationship. It's important to look at how he handles this need for space. If he communicates clearly and reassures you that it's not about you, it's a positive sign that he's being honest. However, if he becomes distant without explanation, starts ignoring your messages, or disappears for long periods without considering your feelings, it could indicate that he's not emotionally invested. Some men use I need space as a way to slowly back out of a relationship without directly breaking things off. To consider is whether this request for space is a pattern. Does he always seem to need space when things start getting serious? Does he withdraw every time emotional intimacy increases? If so, he may have unresolved emotional baggage or commitment fears that prevent him in risking in a relationship. A man who truly cares about you will communicate his need for space in a way that is respectful and considerate, not in a way that makes you feel abandoned. How you respond to his need for space is just as important. If you chase him, constantly check in, or try to force him to talk when he's not ready, it may push him further away. The best thing you can do is respect his request while also making sure your own needs are being met. If his space-seeking behavior leaves you feeling insecure, neglected, or constantly on edge, that's a sign you need to add whether this relationship is truly fulfilling for you. A man who values you will not use "I need space" as an excuse to avoid responsibility or leave you feeling confused. He will make sure that even in his time apart, you don't feel uncertain about where you stand. If a man is constantly withdrawing and making you feel like you have to walk on eggshells, it may be time to step back and consider if you're giving space to someone who wouldn't do the same for you. When a man says, "I'm not ready for a relationship right now," it can be one of the most frustrating and confusing statements to hear. On the surface, it sounds like he's being honest about his emotional availability, but at the same time, it leaves room for uncertainty. Many women hear this and think that if they just give him time, he will eventually be ready. The reality is, when a man says he's not ready, he's telling you everything you need to know about where he stands and what you can expect from him. Men who say they aren't ready for a relationship often mean that they enjoy your company, they like what you bring into their life, but they are not willing to commit. This could be for a number of reasons. He may be prioritizing his personal growth, career, or other aspects of his life that he feels require his full attention. He may also still be healing from past wounds and afraid of opening himself up emotionally. In some cases, he may just enjoy his freedom and doesn't want to be tied down to one person. But the bottom line is, if he truly saw you as the woman he wanted to be with, he wouldn't let anything stand in the way of making that happen. Many times, when a man says this, he still wants the benefits of a relationship without the responsibility that comes with it. He may still call you, spend time with you, and even show affection, but he won't fully invest in building a future with you. This is where a lot of women get stuck. They hold on, hoping that if they continue to give love, support, and patience, he will eventually change his mind. But in reality, he has already made his decision, and you holding on doesn't change how he feels. It's important to recognize that when a man tells you he's not ready, it's not your job to wait around for him to become ready. You don't have to convince someone to want to be with you. A man who truly wants you in his life will step up, make his intentions clear, and won't leave you questioning where you stand. He won't need time to figure it out because he will recognize your value and take action. On the flip side, some men use this statement as a way to keep you on the hook while they explore other options. They may not be ready for a relationship with you, but that doesn't mean they aren't open to being with someone else. If a man tells you he's not ready, but then quickly commits to another woman, it's not because he suddenly became ready. It's because he didn't see you as the one he wanted to commit to. This is why it's so important to take his words at face value and not try to read between the lines. Your time, energy, and love are valuable. If a man is telling you he's not ready for a relationship, listen to what he's saying and believe him. Instead of waiting and hoping, redirect your energy towards someone who is clear about what they want and who actively chooses to be with you. A man who is truly meant for you won't have to be convinced or waited on. He will know, and he will act accordingly. When a man says, "Let's just see where this goes," it can leave you feeling hopeful yet confused at the same time. It sounds open-ended, as if he's interested in exploring something with you, but it also lacks clear direction. Many women hear this and assume that with enough time, effort, and patience, things will naturally develop into a committed relationship. But the reality is, when a man says this, he's often keeping things vague for a reason. Men who use this phrase may genuinely enjoy spending time with you, but they aren't ready or willing to commit to anything serious. Sometimes they say it because they don't want to hurt your feelings by outright saying they don't see a future with you. Other times they use it as a way to keep things comfortable and casual without fully investing in the relationship. Instead of clearly stating their intentions, they leave things open-ended to maintain flexibility for themselves. One of the biggest dangers of this statement is that it keeps you in limbo. When you don't have a clear understanding of where things are headed, you may continue investing in the relationship, hoping that one day he will be ready to fully commit. But in many cases, a man who says this is already showing you that he's not looking for something serious. He enjoys the connection, but he's not willing to define it or make it official. A man who truly wants to build something with you won't leave you questioning where you stand. He won't need to use vague statements because he will be intentional about his actions. He will make it clear that he wants to move forward with you, and he will take the necessary steps to make that happen. When a man is serious about you, he won't risk losing you by being unclear about his intentions. In some cases, a man may say this because he genuinely doesn't know what he wants yet. He may be dealing with personal issues, uncertainty about his future, or unresolved feelings from a past relationship. But regardless of the reason, if he is unsure, then it's not your job to wait around until he figures it out. You deserve clarity, and you deserve someone who is certain about wanting to be with you. It's also important to recognize that some men use this phrase as a way to keep their options open. By keeping things vague, they allow themselves the freedom to explore other possibilities without fully committing to you. This can lead to situations where you feel like you're in a relationship, but without the security and reassurance that comes with one. Over time, this can create frustration, confusion, and even resentment because you are investing emotionally in someone who isn't reciprocating at the same level. Instead of waiting for a man who says, let's just see where this goes, take a step back and evaluate whether his actions align with what you truly want. If he is unwilling to define the relationship or make an effort to move things forward, then he may not be the right person for you. When a man says, I'm not looking for anything serious right now, it might feel like a small statement, but it carries a lot of weight. Many women hear this and think maybe he just needs time, or if I stick around, he'll change his mind. But in reality, this is one of the most honest statements a man can make. When a man tells you this, he's letting you know upfront that he is not in a place where he wants to commit. He may still enjoy your company, value your presence, and even develop feelings for you. But at the end of the day, he is not looking to take things to a deeper, more serious level. One of the biggest mistakes women make when they hear this is assuming that with enough love, patience, and effort, they can change his mind. They think that if they prove how amazing they are, he will eventually come around and decide that he does, in fact, want something serious. But the reality is, when a man says he's not looking for something serious, he means it. It's not a challenge or a test for you to pass. It's not an invitation for you to stick around and try to convince him otherwise. It's a clear statement about where he stands emotionally and mentally. Sometimes men say this because they are genuinely not in a position to commit. They may be focused on their career, personal growth, or healing from a past relationship. They may enjoy dating, but they don't want to be tied down or take on the responsibilities that come with a committed relationship. Other times, a man says this because he likes the connection, but he doesn't see you as the person he wants to settle down with. This can be hard to accept, but it's important to recognize when someone's intentions don't align with yours. If a man is telling you he's not looking for anything serious, it's crucial to believe him and act accordingly. The more time you spend hoping he will change, the more you delay your own happiness. You deserve to be with someone who is excited about building something meaningful with you. If a man is truly interested in a long connection, he will not hesitate to make his intentions clear. He won't risk losing you by keeping things uncertain or undefined. It's also important to understand that when a man says this, it doesn't mean he won't still want to spend time with you. He may still call, text, and make plans with you, but that doesn't mean his stance on commitment has changed. Many women mistake continued attention for progress, thinking that as long as he's still around, he must be developing deeper feelings. But in reality, if he hasn't changed his mind, you could be setting yourself up for disappointment. Instead of holding on to hope that he will come around, take his words at face value. If you are looking for something serious and he is not, then you are not aligned. It's not about blaming him or feeling like you did something wrong. It's about recognizing when someone is being honest with you and respecting yourself enough to walk away if it's not what you want. When a man says, I need space, it can be confusing and even alarming. Many women hear this and immediately think the worst, assuming he's losing interest, pulling away, or even preparing to leave the relationship altogether. But the truth is, when a man says he needs space, it doesn't always mean something negative. Sometimes it's his way of dealing with stress, emotions, or personal challenges that have nothing to do with the relationship. Men and women often process emotions differently. While women typically find comfort in talking through their feelings and seeking support, men are more likely to withdraw and internalize their struggles. When a man says he needs space, it could mean he is dealing with something personal that he doesn't know how to articulate. Maybe he's feeling overwhelmed with work, family responsibilities, or personal doubts, and his instinct is to pull back and process things on his own. One mistake many women make when they hear this is panicking and trying to chase him down for reassurance. They bombard him with questions, send constant messages, or try to force a conversation when he isn't ready. But what they don't realize is that this can push him further away. When a man asks for space, what he really needs is the freedom to step back without feeling pressured or guilty. He needs to know that his request is respected and that he won't be met with frustration or demands. It's also important to recognize when a man is using this phrase as an excuse. Some men say they need space as a way to create distance without fully ending the relationship. They may be unsure about their feelings or looking for an easy way out. If a man repeatedly asks for space but never returns with clarity or reassurance, it could be a sign that he is emotionally unavailable or unwilling to commit. If a man genuinely needs space, the best thing you can do is give it to him without resentment. That doesn't mean waiting around indefinitely or putting your own needs on hold. It means maintaining your own sense of self, staying busy with your own life, and allowing him the time he needs to work through whatever he's dealing with. If he truly values the relationship, he will come back with a clearer mindset and a stronger appreciation for what you share. The key is to set healthy boundaries and recognize the difference between a man needing time to process his emotions and a man who is stringing you along. If he is open about why he needs space and reassures you that it's not about losing interest, then trust that he is being honest. But if he constantly disappears without explanation or leaves you feeling insecure and uncertain, then maybe be time to evaluate whether this relationship is truly fulfilling your needs. Understanding what he really means when he says he needs space requires patience, self-awareness, and a willingness to trust both his words and your own intuition. A healthy relationship should not leave you in constant doubt or fear. It should be built on mutual understanding, respect, and open communication. When a man says, "I'm not ready for a relationship," it can leave you feeling confused, frustrated, and even questioning yourself. You might wonder if he really means it or if he's just not ready for a relationship with you. The truth is, this phrase can carry different meanings depending on the man and the situation, but understanding what's really behind these words can help you make the best decision for yourself. Sometimes, when a man says he's not ready for a relationship, he truly means that he is not in the right place emotionally, mentally, or even financially to commit. He may have unresolved personal issues, past relationship baggage, or career goals that he feels need to take priority. Some men struggle with the idea of commitment because they don't want to bring someone into their life when they don't feel stable within themselves. They may genuinely care for you, but if they don't feel like they can provide what a relationship requires, they may choose to step back rather than lead you on. On the other hand, some men say this because they enjoy your company, but they don't see you as someone they want to commit to long term. Instead of saying, "I don't see a future with you," they soften the blow by making it about their readiness rather than their feelings. This can be a tough reality to face, but it's better to recognize it sooner rather than later. A man who is truly interested in you and values what you bring into his life will not let fear or uncertainty hold him back from being with you. Possibility is that he wants the benefits of a relationship without the responsibility. He may enjoy spending time with you, being intimate, and receiving emotional support from you, but he does not want the expectations that come with commitment. In this case, he is keeping the door open for himself while limiting your role in his life. If you allow yourself to stay in this situation, hoping he will change his mind, you may find yourself feeling emotionally drained and unfulfilled. It's important to take his words at face value. If a man tells you he's not ready for a relationship, don't try to convince him otherwise or wait around for him to change. Even if he does care about you, you deserve someone who is excited and willing to be with you without hesitation. A relationship should not feel like something you have to negotiate or persuade someone into. Instead of focusing on whether he will ever be ready, focus on what you need. If you desire commitment and he is telling you he cannot give you that, then it may be time to walk away and make space for someone who can. Waiting for someone to be ready is risky because there is no guarantee that he ever will be. If he truly values you and realizes that he wants to be with you, he will take the necessary steps to show it without excuses or hesitation. At the end of the day, the key to understanding men is not just listening to their words, but watching their actions. A man who truly values you will not leave you second guessing his intentions. If his words are unclear, his actions will tell you everything you need to know.